Hey there. Okay, so I'm doing something different because I found this funny and just I had to merge it where two different things happened over the past couple of days, two different news stories, but they're very similar, so I'm going to mix them. And in honor for that, because I had a long morning at work and I'm on break, but one glass won't kill me. So I'm mixing some Evan Williams honey, which is delicious, and also what's left over of my Smirnoff red, white, and berry. And people would say don't mix two of them, and I'm like, yeah, well, I've got issues and I'm fine with that. And 1 second, let me try this. Oh boy, that's fucking potent. So yeah, as this keeps happening, and I find it funny, and I'm never gonna stop talking about it every time this bullshit happens.
Bullshit.
Over the weekend, a new movie came out called Bros, and what is Bros? It is apparently a rom-com about a gay couple, and okay. People like me have very limited time, and I don't have the most time to see multiple films over the weekend, depending on what's going on. So I had a choice between seeing Bros and seeing Avatar re-release, and I took my son and nephew and sister and brother-in-law to see Avatar re-release in 4D, and I'm not sorry, it was a better choice, believe me.
You're right. I regret nothing.
But as what keeps happening in Hollywood, and to shock, nobody's friggin' shocked, well, Bros didn't do that good at the box office, right? And of course, it's not because it didn't appeal to people, it's not because it was a bad film, it's because of, well, I'm not sure if YouTube will let me say this, but a certain phobia. Maybe it's arachnophobia is why nobody went to go see Bros.
Then they showed arachnophobia.
Yeah, let's get into this, and also we're going to pull out another article. But this comes from The Hollywood Reporter, and right here, Bros box office. Star Billy Eichner decrees phobia after dismal opening, and I'm not sure if I can say that. It's why, because I'm on YouTube and a newer channel and all. But yeah, let's get into this bunch of bullshit, and well, enjoy the intro. Damn, that's some good mixing two drinks. Okay, so the movie Bros opened to just 4.8 million.
And here we go.
With the actors saying one theater chain threatened to pull the trailer because of its gay content. Okay, I mean,
are you sure?
That's possible. That could have happened. You know, this, I mean, most probably over in China, because we see how China handles gay stuff, right? But so right here, actor Billy Eichner didn't hold back when taking to Twitter, because why wouldn't he? It's, you know, Twitter, on Sunday to comment on the dismal box office opening of his new comedy Bros. The Universal film, which marks the first gay romantic comedy released by a major Hollywood studio, debuted to a dismal 4.8 million after doing little business in much of Middle America and the South. And to be fair, this is considered a romantic comedy, a rom-com. I'm single right now, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, unless I have a girlfriend, I don't watch rom-coms. In fact, not a single guy friend I know, we just don't watch them. In fact, you know, none of my females in my life watch rom-coms by themselves a lot of times. They're usually meant for couples. I mean, I'm not saying people don't watch rom-coms alone, but, you know, more often than not, that you're going with somebody. I've never met anybody that's actively going to see rom-coms by themselves, so.
That's not normal.
And this right here is just the whole hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy!
Everyone who isn't, of course, a phobic weirdo should go see Bros tonight. You will have a blast, and it is special and uniquely powerful to see this particular story on a big screen, especially for queer folks who don't get this opportunity often. I love this movie so much. Go Bros! Go Bros!
Calm down.
Now, Universal has stayed in the comedy business, even as the genre struggles theatrically and increasingly becomes the purview of streaming, and it has. But, you know, also could be because the comedy genre is dying, because maybe make some actual fucking comedies for once, because, yeah, I mean, gay comedies and just Seth Rogen, I at one point was a big fan of Seth, and now it's just like, okay, dude, we get it. You jerk off and smoke weed, you jerk off and smoke weed, you jerk off and smoke weed. That's every fucking movie now. It's like, enough already! This is why Blazing Saddles and Tropic Thunder and Something About Mary, and we'll keep going on and on. Like, you know, I miss comedies, you know. As I pulled up before, I can't even watch an old episode of fucking Scrubs without, you know, certain content being too raunchy, and we're pulling it from streaming services. Like, okay.
I'm offended.
The studio was lauded for taking on the project, and Bros was embraced by critics following its world premiere at the 2022 Toronto Film Festival, and it gets a 95% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. Audiences also liked it, giving it a cinema score, you know, the 5 people who watched it. Yet the opening was even worse than expected. Heading to the weekend, tracking had suggested it could earn between 8 and 10 million, but it didn't. Rolling Stone already has Bros on the list of the best comedies of the 21st century.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
What's also true is that at one point a theater chain called Universal said they were pulling the trailer because of its gay content. Universal convinced them not to. America, fuck yeah, etc., etc. Okay. But, okay, Bros' top 10 markets were all in New York, San Francisco, well, in Los Angeles. That's not a shock to anybody. It did decent business in several other major studios, including Chicago. Otherwise, it has been a bust so far. Yeah, I mean, $4 million. Like, so we're here. Eigner himself went to an LA cinema Saturday night. Last night, I snuck in and sat in the backseat of a sold-out theater playing Bros in LA. Okay, a sold-out theater. Yay.
Good for you! Good for you!
The audience howled with laughter from start to finish, burst into applause at the end, and some were wiping away tears as they walked out. It was truly magical. Really, I am very proud of this movie. Awesome. And eventually I will see it. I'm just not in a rush to see it because I have more fucking important things to do. I'll check it out on a streaming service one day. It's not because I'm phobic, and many people are phobic. It didn't have a fucking appeal. Comedies themselves now don't have an appeal, but it's got to come down to, if you're not swinging a certain way, and yeah, just play the victim as always. Bros marks his first lead role in a major studio pick. The actor who broke out with work in NBC's Parks and Rec and the game show Billy on the Street stars in the film opposite of Luke McFarlane and Harvey Fierstein. So we're here. Of late, comedies that have worked at the box office have been upheld by major star power, such as Ryan Reynolds. I mean, Free Guy, it's kind of comedy action, but it's also Ryan Reynolds. And, guys, say what you want about this, whatever. I mean, I have no problem taking my son to see a gay film. But, Free Guy has a more mass appeal for kids, and a lot of people aren't going to take their kids to see it. I mean, call it what it is, whatever, man. So, comedy has many subgenres, and both of those films are also action-adventure, because he talked about The Lost City. I have yet to see The Lost City. Like fucking Channing, like Sandra, Brad Pitt's in it. I just have been busy. It's nothing to do with, what, do I hate Channing and Sandra? No, many people got too much shit going on. But, yeah, Universal will follow quickly with another rom-com, Ticket to Paradise, starring Roberts and George Clooney. I've seen the trailers for this film with my son. I just don't have any appeal to watch this film right now. I'm sorry, just don't. Avatar 2 is coming out. Black Adam's coming out. I'd rather see shit like that. So, okay. In terms of more raunchy fare, Apatow's recent career trajectory points to how tough the landscape has become for R-rated comedies, such as Bros. He directed his most recent film, The Bubble, for Netflix. In March, he inked an overall deal with Universal, suggesting he will return to helming theatrical comedies. But, it's like, make comedies that appeal to a wide fucking audience. Why do you think, you can say oh, comedies are dying. Well, look at Dave Chappelle, look at Ricky Gervais, look at Bill Burr, their Netflix specials. Apparently comedies aren't dying, but every single time they make a fucking special, here comes friggin' Twitter. Oh, X, Y, and Z is too fucking offensive. However, they're selling out. Joe Rogan and his podcast. Whenever Joe Rogan says something, people want to bitch and bitch and bitch. I follow Joe on Instagram. Everywhere he fucking goes, he sells out everywhere. Because guys like that, Rogan or Chappelle, Bill Burr, Ricky Gervais, they're not scared to just be themselves and say, fuck the PC culture, just be funny. So, versus movies, it kills me too is all these fucking films, all these cinemas and shit and studios, they're scared to make a raunchy comedy. I guarantee you right now, put out a Blazing Saddles. Why not? Put out something like fucking Tropic Thunder. Just go put it out there. When it does $100 million fucking dollars, oh my God, what's happening? No doubt you're going to get people on Twitter and YouTube and whatever, fucking Reddit, bitching and bitching and bitching. But, when you see the box office sales, oh well.
Well, money talks and bullshit walks.
As for Eichner, he summed up results this way. That's just the world we live in, unfortunately. Even with glowing reviews, great Rotten Tomatoes score, and A Cinema score, etc. Here we come. Straight people, especially in parts of the country, just didn't show up for Bros, and that's disappointing, but it is what it is. Now, he's not wrong. There probably are certain straight people that aren't going to go see it, but the thing is, does it make them phobic? Maybe it just doesn't fucking appeal to them. Again, I'm fucking straight. I just, if I had a girlfriend and my girlfriend was like, honey, let's go see Bros, I would have fucking went, but I have no appeal to see this film. And it wouldn't just be fucking Bros. It would be any kind of rom-com. So I'm moving on from this, but that'll be the headline, Bros tanks is because of phobia. But as I said earlier, this comes down to the overall issue with Hollywood and people that fail, because recently this comes from Variety, and lo and behold, remember a couple years back, Charlie's Angels came out. I didn't see it, had no fucking appeal to see it. In fact, again, having 3 sisters and a cousin and a mother, they didn't go fucking see it. I like the first one actually, the one with, well, the first remake one that had Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu and Cameron Diaz. The second one, Full Throttle, was just like, it was like, wasn't as good. I mean, yes, Demi Moore was 40 and she looked fantastic, but it wasn't as good as the first one, but I still watched it. Plus, I didn't like, swapping out Bill Murray, but apparently Bill Murray was an asshole to Lucy Liu, and it's Bill Murray. But when this happened, look right here. Now, it's, as I said with the news article, it's in the same vein of my fucking movie failed at the box office, and not my fault. Not that it's a terrible film or bad writing or just, it's the actresses don't appeal to anybody. It's your fault as an audience. You are the fucking problem. Toxic men or toxic straight men or toxic. We get it. Just like Ghostbusters 2016, it's always everybody's fault and not that. Maybe you made a fucking bad movie.
How about you take some damn responsibility?
But right here. So Elizabeth Banks regrets Charlie's Angels marketing. It wasn't a feminist manifesto, just an action film movie. Okay, but the marketing and plus your comments later on didn't help. Because right here, looking back at the poor box office performance of her 2019 Charlie's Angels reboot, Banks has some regrets about the film's marketing. Well, what could that be? I wish that the movie had not been presented as just for girls, and it was. So, because I did make it just for girls, okay. But Banks told the New York Times, there was a disconnect on the marketing side of it for me. Okay. Banks said, when women do things in Hollywood, it becomes this story. There was a story around Charlie's Angels that I was creating some feminist manifesto. I was just making an action film. But is that modern Hollywood? Because when the first one came out and the first one got a sequel, no one cared. It wasn't just a, feminist fucking movie, and it was just an action film. The Pitch Perfect 2 director added that she would have liked to have made Mission Impossible, but women aren't directing Mission Impossible, and here it comes.
There it is!
So is it because the fact that they're not hiring female directors, or the fact that maybe you just weren't the right choice for the job? And going by the box office of every Mission Impossible film that Tom Cruise has been in, I mean, business is good, and they're in this fucking industry to make money, and business is, you can't blame them. But this is just this endless issue. It's like, well, women aren't directing Mission Impossible.
You're gonna cry, cry, cry.
Well, maybe they just don't find the right people. Maybe you're not the right person for the fucking job. And okay.
You are not the victim here.
So, frankly, because it starred women and I'm a female director, and that is the confine right now in Hollywood. But Banks recalled a time when a big producer of big action films told her that she couldn't direct action because male actors were not going to follow me.
I don't believe you.
Could be true. I mean, I highly fucking doubt it, because there have been plenty of women that have directed action films and action TV shows, but sure. Banks' Charlie Angels reboot cost Sony and its co-financers $48 million, but it floundered at North American box office with only 8.6 in its opening weekend. And this doesn't help right here, sweetheart. Sorry. But ahead of its release, Banks told the Herald back in 2019, if this movie doesn't make money, it reinforces a stereotype in Hollywood that men don't go see women do action movies. And there it is.
You're right. I am a victim.
Doing what you fucking do best. Victim blaming, attacking your friggin' audience, I went to go see Harley Quinn because I like Margot Robbie, and I think the character of Harley Quinn is fun, and it was my favorite film, but I went to go see it. I didn't see Charlie's Angels because it just didn't fucking appeal to me. I like the other ones. I don't want to make a 9-hour fucking video explaining like Xena Warrior Princess or Ripley from the Alien franchise or Sarah Connor. I don't care. Before the virus hit, I took my son for a re-release to go see Alita Battle Angel. And I'm pretty sure Alita, she's not, a straight white man that's the main character, and we have no fucking problem with action fuck films. In fact, you know what? Atomic Blonde with Charlize was a pretty goddamn good movie, by the same company that did John Wick. I had no problem with it being Charlize. Or Mad Max Fury Road. It's like Max is in it for like 5 minutes. It should have just been called the Furiosa movie, which was fine because, again, Charlize was fantastic in that movie. But it doesn't help right here. Men don't go see women do action movies. No.
Liar.
We do. In fact, I bought with Maggie Q, The Protege, that had Maggie Q and Sam Jackson and Michael Keaton. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now. But there's plenty of fucking female action films that, okay. Despite it being a commercial flop, Banks said she is proud of the movie. Okay, be proud of the movie. fine. It doesn't stop the fact that it fucking bombed.
I know what you did. You're a damn predator. All right, just get the hell out of here. I got a goddamn...
I love Kristen Stewart being funny and light. When is she ever funny and light with her one facial expression? And I love introducing Ella Blonsky to the world. I loved working with Patrick Stewart. It was an incredible experience, she said. Awesome. Glad you had an incredible experience. Still fucking bombed at the box office. And so this is it, boys and girls. It's just people like me, I'm sure people like you, anybody watching this, we're tired of the same old, same old, same old. My film sucks, so it's not our fault, it's your fault. And said, I will watch anything, I will fucking review anything, I will give anything my honest opinion, and I'll be fair on something. And just, but this whole like, you didn't see it because you were phobic, and okay, that's why I don't care. I don't have a big enough channel yet, but when Black Panther 2 comes out, I'm going to go see it, If I don't like it, I'll say I don't fucking like it. If I say it's okay, I'll say it's okay. But man, when the fucking first one came out, and different people have said this on the internet and YouTube and wherever, that if you said a single bad thing about that fucking film, like you could imagine what they were calling you.
Racist.
So yeah, oh boy, it's strong. I'm going to finish this and edit this stuff. And so it keeps happening over and over again. Keep blaming this, keep blaming that. And oh well, guys, it just, do yourself a fucking favor. Stop attacking your fans. Stop freaking doing poor marketing. Just make a goddamn good movie. If the movie is good, people will go see it. And guess what? If it's not good, people won't go see it. There's plenty of movies that have high audience scores and high critic ratings and don't do good at the box office. I mean, we could sit there and break down anything from like The Northman. I thought The Northman was fantastic. Wasn't a box office juggernaut. I still think to this day, Dread is one of the most underrated films and didn't fucking light the world on fire. And God, guys, from the past decade alone, I could fucking just keep finding a bunch of movies that should have did a lot better at the box office, and they didn't because, for whatever reason, they didn't appeal for people. There's nothing that because this movie had two gay freaking characters that it's like, well, it's not appealing to all these different straight people. I'm like, nah, dude, I just didn't want to fucking see it. I want to go see big blue aliens and shit. So, what are you gonna do, right? But I'm just going to keep calling this stuff out, and, I wanted to see The Woman King, and then I heard about the whole controversy around it, and Viola Davis, but she came out the same thing, like, oh, if you don't see this film, and if it's not #1 global, it's because people don't like certain people of color, and like, no, lady, a lot of us just didn't want to see you rewrite history, and best believe with TikTok and looking at the YouTube comment section, and even on Twitter, there's a ton of people that match your skin tone, Viola, that are calling out your bullshit, and didn't want to see your fucking movie as well, but that's how it is, Don't see my movie, and if you don't see my movie, you're an Istrophobe. Their fucking favorite 2 words, and okay. But, alright guys, short low on time as always. I'm on friggin' break for another hour. I gotta hurry up and shit and finish this, but this was delicious, the whole Evan Williams and Smirnoff, but yeah. That's all I can say. Let me go get Bender and finish this, and 1 second.
This calls for a drink.
That is fucking smooth. And anyway, I'm heading back to work.